MAGA is back at work. And if you're the kind of person who smells opportunity in every political storm, buckle up because Trump 2025 might just be your golden ticket. People are going to cash in big, but the question is, will you be one of them? Let's talk about how you can cash in, legally of course. Alright, before we dive into where the money is, let's get one thing straight. Not every opportunity is worth taking. Smart investors follow 3 golden rules. Number 1, it has to be legal. No shady back alley deals. No offshore accounts in places you can't pronounce. Number 2, it has to make money. Like, that's the whole point, right? Number 3, it has to fit your moral compass. This one's tricky because everyone's got their own limits. Some people are fine investing in, say, casino stocks. Others wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole. You do you. Now that we've set the ground rules, let's talk about one of the most controversial but potentially profitable opportunities of Trump's 2025 presidency. First up, mass deportations. Trump is promising mass deportations like never before. And whether you think that's necessary or a complete disaster, one thing is certain, some companies are getting paid big time. See, when the government needs to hold thousands of undocumented immigrants, where do you put them? They don't just conjure up extra prison space overnight. That's where private prison companies come in. Companies like CoreCivic and Geo Group own and operate many of the facilities used for immigration detention. NBC News reports that back in 2016, when Trump first won, private prison stocks skyrocketed overnight. Experts predict history might repeat itself in 2025. But how do you invest in them? Well, check prison stock trends, like are they already rising in anticipation? Then look at ICE, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement contracts, to look at who's getting the big deals. And just follow the immigration policies. More deportations means more need for detention centers. Moral dilemma? Maybe. Big money? Definitely. You decide. Second, tariffs, aka taxes on imported goods. Love them or hate them, Trump wants to slap tariffs on China, Mexico, and a bunch of other countries. And when imports get expensive, companies start looking for cheaper ways to do business. And guess what? That might mean bringing manufacturing back to the US. If it suddenly costs 25% more to make products in China, businesses will start looking at US factories instead. That could mean a boom for American manufacturing jobs and stocks. More factories will mean more land purchases, more warehouses, and more money flowing into industrial real estate. If more stuff is made in America, it has to travel across America. And how does heavy cargo move? Railroads. It's a classic Warren Buffett move. He once called railroads the backbone of American commerce. Start looking at the manufacturing companies gearing up for expansion. Check out real estate investment trusts that focus on industrial properties, and just watch them railroad stocks. So, while businesses complain about tariffs, some investors are quietly cashing in. Are you one of them, or are you ready to be one of them? Third, financial deregulation. Wall Street loves a good party, and guess who's promising to throw one in 2025? Donald J. Trump. His plan is to deregulate financial services, which is basically a fancy way of saying, let the big banks do their thing with fewer rules in the way. Less government interference, more freedom for businesses to lend, invest, and, well, make money. Big banks like JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs would thrive when there are fewer restrictions on lending and investing. More governments mean more interest, and more interest means, more profit. Fewer SEC limitations mean they can take bigger risks and potentially get bigger rewards. The less red tape, the more they can move fast and cash in. S&P Global predicts a Trump-led deregulation could ignite a wave of mergers and acquisitions. Big companies might start buying each other up. Stock prices could shoot up, and investors who get in early might make a killing. Again, you just need to watch for bank stocks rising in anticipation of deregulation. Look at mergers and acquisition trends. Like, if big deals start happening, that's a sign the market expects looser rules. Keep an eye on hedge fund activity too. If they start making bolder moves, you'll know why. Number 4, oil and gas. If there's one thing Trump loves, it's energy dominance. And in 2025, he's doubling down. More drilling, more exports, and fewer restrictions on big oil. The whole point is to expand drilling, boost liquefied natural gas exports, and open up federal lands for energy companies. Yep, oil and gas companies are about to have a field day. When regulations ease, drilling gets easier. More drilling is equal to more oil. More oil is equal to more profits. The US is already a top LNG exporter. If Trump makes it easier to sell gas to other countries, companies like Cheniere could rake in serious cash. Oil CEOs love the idea of fewer restrictions. After all, more pipelines, refineries, and drilling permits means higher production and higher profits. In Trump's first term, oil execs cheered when he rolled back regulations. Expect the same enthusiasm this time around. Keep an eye on natural gas demand. If exports increase, LNG companies could skyrocket. Start to look at energy ETFs like if you don't want to pick individual stocks. An oil and gas ETF might be a good play. Number 5. Tax cuts. Trump is likely to slash corporate taxes, leaving companies with extra cash. And when big corporations have extra cash, they don't always hand out raises or build new factories. Nope, they buy back their own stocks. Companies that aggressively buy back stocks are the ones who benefit. Stock buybacks reduce the number of shares available, which artificially boosts stock prices. The biggest buyback kings: Apple, Microsoft, and Google. And well, the second type are the ones who get in early. If buybacks happen at scale, stock prices could surge, rewarding shareholders. Historically, tax cuts mean a short-term boom in stock market performance, say analysts. And we saw this in action. After Trump's 2017 tax cuts, stock buybacks hit a record-breaking $1 trillion. Experts predict that if Trump delivers again, we could see a repeat performance. Try looking back at buyback trends. Companies that announce large stock repurchase programs will likely see stock prices rise. Watch out for tax policy changes. If corporate tax rates drop, expect buybacks to spike. Consider ETFs tracking major buyback companies. Some funds specifically target companies known for stock repurchases. In short, Trump cuts taxes, companies go on a stock buying spree, and investors ride the wave. Cha-ching! Number 6. Space exploration. If Trump has his way, space isn't just the final frontier, it's the next investment jackpot. His first term gave us the U.S. Space Force, and this time he's talking about doubling down on space investment. More rockets, more satellites, and maybe even a moon base. Sounds like sci-fi? Nope, it's just business. Aerospace giants like Boeing and Lockheed Martin. These companies already built military satellites and space tech. More government contracts, more profits. Elon Musk is already leading the space race. If Trump pumps more money into NASA and Space Force, SpaceX could be a major player. Tech companies like Amazon's Blue Origin and satellite providers obviously are going to profit. With Trump pushing for more private sector involvement in space, expect companies like Amazon and Starlink to expand their satellite networks. Elon Musk wants to put humans on Mars. Jeff Bezos thinks space is the next trillion-dollar industry, and Richard Branson is already sending people on space tourism trips. With billionaires and Trump on the same page, the next space boom might be closer than we think. So what you gotta do is to watch for government contracts. Defense and aerospace stocks often rise when NASA and the Pentagon announce funding. Track the SpaceX rumors, like if it ever goes public, it could be the hottest IPO ever. And lastly, look into satellite stocks. Companies powering the new space economy might skyrocket. Number 7, military spending. If there's one thing Trump loves more than big rallies and gold-plated buildings, it's a strong military. And when he says strong, he means spending billions on it. Trump plans to increase military spending, modernize weapons, defense systems, and tech, and expand the U.S. armed forces. And yes, it's a gold mine for the investors. Defense contractors like Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, and Northrop Grumman are literally the first ones to benefit from this. They build fighter jets, missiles, and defense systems. More spending, more contracts. More military action means more bullets, bombs, and high-tech drones. Expect gun and ammo manufacturers to see a boost. And well, we all know that modern warfare isn't just about tanks. Cyber warfare is real, and companies providing AI-driven security systems could cash in. Trump's past military budget was hundreds of billions in new contracts. In 2020 alone, Lockheed Martin pulled in $75 billion in defense deals. Imagine what could happen in 2025. Contractors tend to skyrocket after budget approvals, so start looking at the past trends. Companies securing the biggest deals will dominate the industry. Defense-focused ETFs can spread your investment risk across multiple winners. So what's stopping you? Morals? Overthinking? Waiting for a personal invitation from Trump himself? Money's moving with or without you. Either you profit from it or you just watch. And if you really want that money, go watch our video on the top businesses that never fail.